probably it was around a year ago. I was in the midst of sort of writing very ballad type songs, ones that I really enjoyed writing, but there was something in my music that was just missing. And for me, I've always been very influenced by jazz and artists like Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone. They're people that I listen to all the time, and I knew that I was very much influenced by this music, but I wasn't quite sure how to sort of recreate it in almost like my own way. So after sort of writing that other music, I began writing with my writing partner Bjorn, and just came up with, I had some voice notes in my phone, so I kind of replayed them to him. He's a guitarist as well. We just played around with some of that sort of music, and then kind of came up. All For You is actually the first sort of record that we wrote together, and I'd kind of had the idea in my head of talking about an ex-partner who, it was like a very, very toxic relationship when I was younger. And I think, you know, when you are sort of in your early teens and kind of go through that first relationship and you don't know what's right or wrong, and you kind of are led on by somebody that you know is really bad for you, but because it's your first ever relationship, you don't know that it's wrong, and you kind of just keep going with it because you think it's the norm. So this kind of toxic cycle that just keeps going on and on kind of becomes your reality. And I kind of really wanted to delve into that because I think so many people go through that, even as they get older and they go into new relationships. I think sometimes you can sort of be led in some ways in the wrong direction, but don't necessarily know that that is wrong. So I think, my main purpose was to recreate something that felt true to me and to what I wanted to talk about, and musically driven, the jazz kind of music that I'd listened to for so long. I wanted to get that across in my music, and moving forward now I feel so much more comfortable within this genre of music. So I'm really excited to see what else happens and at the moment I'm still continuing to write new music, and I'm just really enjoying the process. At the moment, you know, for me as a writer and a performer, like I said, the jazz influence is very much there, and I want to hone in on that as much as I can, because it's very important that I do that for myself. But I think as well, like just with the EP, the songs are all sort of very much like Fall For You. That sort of influence that is definitely within the music. But I think moving forward and writing the music now, I'm definitely exploring sort of more like haunting kind of vibes within the writing. So kind of a bit more sort of Lana Del Rey influences. And I did a cover actually of Wicked Game that you can find as well on my YouTube, and kind of bringing those influences of that kind of musicality into a jazz record is kind of what I'm going for, like writing more music moving forward, because I think this genre for me in terms of writing is still quite new and fresh, and the fact that I'm able to kind of explore that new identity is really refreshing for me actually, because I've kind of spent so long writing other music that is still important to me, but this kind of opens up a new door entirely. So I'm really excited about what's to come now. I can't wait. Yeah, I think from my own perspective, I always wanted my voice to kind of be the forefront of the song. So even at the moment when we're dealing with the musical side of everything, we kind of say, for example, like the introduction or the intro for the music, we want my voice to kind of, because I would like the fact that you said that you think it's distinctive. Like that's a huge compliment to me, and I think it's something that I've kind of wanted to get across in my music, but figuring out a way that works well for me, and knowing that the type of music that I put out there really suits that. And I think in some of the other music that I'd written before, because it didn't necessarily complement that part of my voice tonally, I wanted to really get across. And hopefully now with this music that I'm putting out there, Fall For You being like the first one of that kind of genre, it kind of does show a new identity, and almost I guess there isn't necessarily a comparison in terms of, well, I mean, it is obviously good to be compared to some artists, of course, but I think to have a completely brand new identity of something that not many other people are doing right now was something that I really wanted to put out there, because I think if I was to continue doing what I was before with the ballads, there's so much of that music out there that I wanted to kind of create a new identity for myself and to the music industry almost, because that's very important to me. And I think, moving forward, if I do now create more music, I just would love my voice to kind of be the forefront of those tracks. Definitely a challenge, because I think when you're putting yourself out there and it's sort of, because in my head sometimes I think, oh, I'm doing something that is so different to what a lot of other artists are doing, and then I kind of get brainwashed into thinking, after listening on the radio and realizing that I'm doing something so different, I think, no, I need to go back and start again. And then you start rethinking what you're doing, because you think, is it going to work, is it not? But the fact that within the last few weeks, I'm just so shocked at what's happened. Yeah. So I just need to keep going, and I feel so thankful and grateful that it's working. More than anything, that's all I'm super grateful for. And I think as well with the music itself, because I did write this music with just a guitar and vocal, and because I guess the lyrics are quite sad in terms of what I'm saying, the juxtaposition of the lyrics themselves with the band kind of reinforces that quite happy-go-lucky sound, which is great, because I make it more easier listening music rather than kind of going against the grain and making it sort of sad ballad music, so it I take that as a huge compliment. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to start my whole process with the sort of black and white imagery that I had, especially for Fall For You, just to kind of, I think, because I was going in to this music almost blind, if you like, because I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if it was going to react with people and if people were going to like it. And I kind of wanted this imagery of black and white to sort of represent how I was feeling at the time that I wrote it, and how I felt putting this music out there, sort of quite vulnerable with it. And then as it was kind of opening up to the world, and the fact that we've had this response, it was kind of, I've done a recent video shoot and photo shoot for Fall For You, and now everything's kind of opening up and sort of I'm exploring this new identity. It kind of works for me within my personality and how I feel and how people are engaging with the music, and to just now sort of burst into colour, which I think sort of represents how the project itself is sort of blossoming. So I think now moving forward, we've kind of gone into sort of like a film, edited everything in film. So the music video that will be coming out very soon will be in more of like a cut in colour, but it'll be more of a film edit. So, and I think again and we've done it in a really cool venue in Manchester that's very 70s based, but with it being on film, it'll kind of be more sort of pastel colours of this yellow room, and everything within the room, like the 70s wallpaper and the radio and all of these things that are within the set just look super cool, and it just really fits the vibe, especially for Fall For You. So that will be out very, very soon, and I can't wait to share that. And that kind of goes in hand with the photo shoot that I've done as well. Cool. I'd say it's more excitement than pressure. I think sometimes when, because I wasn't really expecting this at all, and I think that in itself kind of builds a little pressure, because you think, okay, this is happening now, and therefore you need to get more music out, and we need to push and do as much as we can to, for the audience that are really loving it right now. I'm just so grateful that people have warmed to the music more than anything. So the fact that I can now just keep releasing and only hope that people will still feel the same about it just feels like a huge compliment in itself. So there is a little bit of pressure there, but it's nothing that can't be worked on. It's fine. I'm very excited for the future and to do more gigs, and I think playing live is something that's so important to me, and I've got a couple more shows that are just being booked in at the moment, and to play these shows with my band or even if I do just go out with my guitarist and play that way,
Oh,
just have an audience watching and to be able to perform these songs is really important to me. And yeah, I'm just, yeah, very, very excited right now.